Hello, and welcome to our condensed version of Comp 2. This is a fast moving, action packed course, and I hope that you will be able to feel like you're not alone in this. That's what this whole video thing is about. Every week, I'm going to post a video, and not because I love these videos myself because it's a little bit embarrassing to see your face on the screen, but to try to take some of the distance out of distance education for you. So what these are is a way for me to express what I'm trying to do in each of the assignments and what we are as a class trying to accomplish, how we're trying to grow as writers in a more mini lecture kind of format. So, if you would please join me in going over your syllabus. This is the short course, and so we're going to go fast and furious, but I think you'll find it to be effective, and there's going to be a definite pattern to how we turn assignments in and what we do every unit, so that you'll see once you get into it about 2 weeks in, you're going to feel the groove, and then it's about over with because that's how quick the course is. So, introducing myself, I'm Nicole Schrock. I'm going to be your instructor, your tour guide, and your companion along this crazy journey. Please know that anytime you have any questions for me, I want to hear from you. There's two basic ways. One, you can put general questions in our classroom. Let me jump back over to the classroom. Under the messages, you can send messages to me here. In the forums, there is a student lounge that you can post questions to me or questions to other students if you think there's something they can answer. And if there's something that you want answered pretty immediately, you can use my Northwest State email. That one goes to my phone. The Sakai one does not. So if you are comfortable with me checking the messages a couple times a day here, then great. But if you want it to happen a little quicker than that, if you need something like something more urgent and pressing, like you're in the middle of something that you want attention on, especially Monday through Friday is when I spend the bulk of my time doing my teaching. Weekends are sort of my family time because, like you, I'm in this online thing partly for flexibility. So I'm most accessible Monday through Friday, but I will do my best, especially if you use my Northwest State email, to answer on Saturdays as well. Sundays we are often electronics free in our family, so just don't count on responses on Sunday. There are lots of goodies in this little left navigation bar, and I do encourage you to check it out. I've been teaching at Northwest State for about 7 years now. I do mostly Comp 2 classes, and on the side I also am I've been doing some personal research on online education, and I've been writing some courses for other entities and universities, as well as teaching them both online and face-to-face. I am located in the Columbus, Ohio area, so this is really, truly online education in that I don't show up on campus. So kind of a unique experience for me, but I'm really enjoying it. This is after teaching for 10 years in the Pettisville School District, which was a great experience. I keep having students that I had in the past, and that's always fun too. Okay, so what are we going to do this week? First of all, this syllabus is in your classroom as a PDF, and I really recommend that you print it. Very rarely do I make any changes on it. I call it a tentative course schedule, so in case we have to change it for some reason, we can, but it's pretty tried and true at this point. In the syllabus, in this section rather, and I'm going to let you go through. This is the whole syllabus, and this is all the things that we need to know, objectives and what we're trying to do, and the scoring of things and that kind of assignments and late work and you know, special needs situations and that kind of thing. I'm going to let you do that on your own because you can read. But I want to talk you through this course schedule because this thing right here, if you don't print anything else in the course, please just print this part of the syllabus, and this will help you out every week. It's the big picture umbrella of everything. Okay, so October 15th through 19th, this date corner here, if you scroll down, this is going to be the week of work. So it's week 1, here's the dates that we have, and this is a short week because we're starting midweek. This is the topic and unit that we're working on, and then anything that's in red denotes an assignment. I'll show you where to find those in the classroom in a moment, but I like this big picture because it shows me it's kind of my checklist for the week. And the first thing we're going to do is a reflection assignment. The reflection assignment is going to seem like a get to know you assignment, and it is on one level, but on another level, it actually, each of the sentences, it's a fill in the blank exercise, each of those assignments is something that, each of those questions is something you fill in, but later on you can use it to help write your thesis statement for papers or to help transition an argument. I use a resource called They Say, I Say, which is a different textbook than we actually have in the class. But the concept is that in all argument in writing, you take what somebody is saying and you set it against what you are saying, or you agree with what they are saying, or you agree with some exception. And each of the reflection activity sentences sets you up to share something about yourself in that context of they say, I say. If I started showing this and then I jumped around, sorry about that. There's a key for this syllabus. The A stands for the Aaron book. That's the author of the Little Brown Compact book. H stands for Hirschberger, who's the author for the Millennium Reader. So as you look through readings, that's what those mean, because it was too hard to put their last names in or the title of the book in every time. It was too cumbersome for the chart here. So what are we doing this week? We're going to finish and post the reflection activity. We don't post all of our assignments to the discussion board, but because this is the nature of this assignment is to kind of get to know each other, that's what we're going to do. I'm not going to put any requirements on you to reply back to one another in this assignment, but I would encourage you to do that. Because of the way Sakai is set up, I don't love grading out of the discussion board. It's very, it's not terribly user friendly on my end. So I'm going to ask you to do this. Whenever we do a discussion board assignment, you're going to copy and paste that assignment into you can either do it as an attachment or just copy and paste it into the box on the Dropbox that corresponds with it. So you're going to post this to the discussion board, copy and paste it over to the Dropbox for me to grade to say, yes, you did it, and also to read it to get to know you a little bit. In reading this week, I'm giving you a section to skim as a resource. We're kind of just setting the stage for all the nuts and bolts that we need to lay out at the beginning. And whenever we read out of the Aaron text, it's more of a skim and scan thing. It's more of a resource. So that's why I put that in parentheses. Otherwise, if some of you are really rule followers, like I kind of tend to be with syllabi, you would be like reading every page and you'd be like, oh my goodness, this is so much reading. So when we read out of the Aaron text, it's a resource. Skim it for what you need. It's a reference book, okay? And these are the reference pages. Second assignment that you turn in this week is the MLA assignment, and this is one that you only turn in to me. We don't need to share this one out because frankly it's kind of a dry assignment. We're doing old school grammar book. It's exercise 58.1. I don't have the page number written down here, but I think it's on the actual course content, so if you look there for it. But it is a exercise in practicing using the Modern Language Association's setup for papers. While you're in there, would you also look at how they say you have to set up a paper to be compliant with MLA in terms of the heading, the spacing, and that kind of thing. We don't need it for a couple weeks, but know where it's at and look at their sample paper for internal citations and end of paper citations, because it will be a requirement for every paper in this course to have that MLA set up. Then finally, this week, there is a thesis writing worksheet, and this gets a little confusing. I like to put it up at the beginning because thesis writing to me is probably, if you accomplish one thing in this class and only one thing, if you were only allowed to learn one thing, I would want you to learn, if you haven't already, a complete mastery of thesis writing, because if you can write a good thesis statement, you can probably write a good paper. And so this worksheet is, there's actually a worksheet that I want you to copy and paste in the course content, from the course content. It's 1-3 in your Dropbox. This is a Dropbox only assignment, and it's a template that walks you through the steps of taking a topic and creating a thesis statement out of it. Here's what's a little confusing. We haven't read anything yet, and we're not going to use this thesis statement. This is a practice exercise. So you can choose any topic you want. You can even choose something out of the reflection activity that made you think, and you can make it into a thesis statement. This is not one we're going to use. This is going to be a dead-end little worksheet, but hopefully it will give you the practice you need for when we build into the first paper we write. So 3 assignments. They're all due Sunday at midnight, unless it says in the syllabus everything is due Sunday at midnight. And now let's jump over to the course quickly here. For this course, you will not need to set up a Turnitin account. Any paper that you need Turn It In for, I already have the course set up so that the papers go to Turn It In. You do not need to set up a writing lab component either, because I'm doing things a little bit differently than using that, and we're kind of specializing our exercises. So just a couple technology items there. You do need to turn everything in a Word document for longer papers, and for these smaller assignments, either a Word document or a rich text file, or you can just, like I said, copy and paste your responses into the little place in the Dropbox. The only exception for that, again, is the longer papers. I don't want those copied and pasted because I like to use a comment review tool that I can't use in that type of format. Okay, so we're going to jump right in to the course intro. There's a lot of, the downside about online courses is there's a lot of reading. They're very reading intensive, and that's part of the reason I do these little videos. And everything has to download, and sometimes it takes a while, like it is right now. Waiting, right? But I tried to maybe err to the side of too much explanation so that you didn't ever feel lost. That was my goal anyway. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. Okay, for some reason that course intro isn't downloading right this second for me. Let's go ahead and we might be having a Sakai problem right at the moment. This is where you'll find each of these exercises that I just showed you in the syllabus. You open them up, and there will be a document that explains the exercise. Okay, so there's the thesis writing worksheet that you can copy and paste, or you can save the Word document. And then it bumps us into week 2. So this is still struggling to download. I will obviously double check this for next week to make sure that you can download these items. But each week I try to set up a little bit of a preview and an intro into that week's material. So that's how that's set up. Oh, look at this. It decided to show up. It just took a little while. Okay, this is the Unit 1 announcement. This goes through why we're doing everything in case you didn't remember from my video. And then it gives you a to-do list, okay, at the bottom, and some suggestions. Okay? So that pretty much wraps up what I wanted to explain. I'm really excited to work with you, and hopefully these videos are helpful and not annoying. I think in closing, I just want to emphasize to you that we're taking this learning experience that's flexible and works with your schedule, and we're going to make it personal as well. We're going to make sure that our goal is going to be to make sure we're in communication and in community with one another, so that we get the most out of this learning experience as we can. I'm looking forward to growing with you in this process, and again, always keep the questions coming.